If you have gut issues, here are 5 things that you really need to look at when you go to address these gut issues. Hi, I'm Megan. I'm a nutritional therapy practitioner and functional blood chemistry specialist. Not only does our practice work with a ton of people who have gut issues, but I also have a very long history of chronic gut issues that I spent many years working with a variety of practitioners and doctors to try and resolve that. Each one did a little bit with some of these pieces, but didn't put everything together until I really learned this. So hopefully this will help you resolve your gut issues a whole lot faster than I did. So number 1 is what we're putting in our body. So this is nutrition. So yes, nutrition plays a huge role in our gut health. Are we eating a lot of processed foods, a lot of sugars? Are we getting just a lot of chemicals inside of our body? Are we getting enough good nutrients? Are we getting required nutrients, proteins and fats, which are required nutrients? Are we filling our body with a lot of inflammatory foods? All of these things play a really big role. And this doesn't mean like go and do a crazy elimination diet. We're actually not huge fans in our practice of elimination diets. Yes, we use them therapeutically if needed, but really just I recommend focusing on whole foods, foods that have 1 or 2 ingredients, chicken, beef, broccoli, berries, like things that are just like 1 ingredient, 1 maybe 2 ingredients, as the most important part, and the like biggest part of your diet. So that's huge. Number 2 is how you're actually eating. Are you rushing around trying to eat all of your meals? Are you just like using a bunch of water or other liquids to wash your food down? Are you actually chewing your food? All of that plays a really big role. And if you're not in a rest and digest state, a parasympathetic state, your digestion is never going to be optimal. So usually what I'll recommend, and it's not about being perfect with this, it's about doing your best and the vast majority of the time in this state of take a few big deep breaths before you go to eat. Try and chew your food before you swallow it, and try and not super rush through all of your meals. Number 3, do you have pathogens? Do you have gut overgrowth issues, bacteria, yeast, fungus, and or parasites? If you have these things, it's going to be a real struggle to have good gut health, no matter what your nutrition looks like. And probiotics and prebiotics are not the answer here. Usually we need to do some sort of killing protocol and then rebuilding, rebalancing, healing, and sealing the gut in order to resolve these. Number 4, what is fueling the pathogens if we have them? Do we have low stomach acid? Do we have chronic stress issues? Do we have a toxin overload issue? Like, what is fueling these pathogens? Usually, nutrition plays a role here once again, but what is the driving factor? If you kill the pathogens but don't address why and how they got there in the first place, and that's usually quite a few things, it's usually not just one thing, then we need to make sure that we address these things that are fueling the pathogens. Otherwise, we can kill the pathogens, but the pathogens are going to come right back. So really big things I recommend looking for: look at stomach acid levels, do a baking soda test, really valuable, and toxicity. Heavy metals, environmental toxins, mold. These are huge driving factors of pathogen issues in our gut. And then last but not least, chronic stress and nervous system dysregulation. If you are chronically stressed, if you can't get to a place where you feel safe in your own body, your digestion is really never going to be great. Our digestion was meant to be optimal in a place where we could be rested and digesting in a safe place. But if we're chronically stressed and our body's in this fight or flight mode, digestion, among other things like sex hormones, are probably never gonna be optimal. So we have to learn how to do this, how to get in this safe space, this rest and digest state. Once again, otherwise, this is a huge driving factor for pathogens, for toxin overload issues, among many other things. Use these as starting points. If you need help in identifying, do you have pathogens or what's driving these pathogens, we offer free consults in our practice. There's a link in our bio. We'll help you figure out, based on lab work that you've already had run, what we think might be going on. We'll recommend lab work if we think that's necessary, to help you figure out these bigger root causes, because if you don't address them, you're never going to